that's why I really love the super trips that we go on as a community. There's about 5,000 to 6,000 people every single year that go together, right? But another thing I want to show you about community is we have actually a WSB community on Facebook. Do you have Facebook, by the way? Okay, awesome. So if you look at the WSB community, there's about 54,000 people that are part of our campaign. And if you could go to the next slide real fast. Okay, so if you see this post, you know, the WSB community, people post about how the campaign has helped them and how they're reaching out to other people as well. Right, so if you look at this very first post, this lady posted about her son and how he was able to go on the super trip, right, to Vietnam. And he wasn't able to go to his preschool graduation, but he was able to learn about culture, about people, about, you know, making new friends, etc. Right? And if you look at the next post here, so this lady posted about how she was able to pay off her 5th credit card. How many people do we know that have a lot of credit card debt, especially in the US, right? And she talks about how she was able to pay off 9,000, now she's at 0. And we talk about this through our workshops, our free financial education workshops, which Kevin here will be talking about a little bit later. And if we can go to the next one. You know, there's so many different people who are part of our campaign, right? So in this example, there's one of the ladies here, her name is Dr. Dolly Amaya, and she is a Harvard University professor. And then another one is a doctor, another professor, and then another a powerful lady who used to be in the banking industry. But all of them are here because we're all working towards reaching out to more people about the financial education. Okay, next slide, please. And we reach out to many different organizations, schools. We even go through the military and different places so that, you know, we can reach out to a mass number of people. Okay, is there one more? Yeah, and then that's it, okay? So a lot of people, you know, from many places, we have financial centers all over the US and Canada, and people post about how the campaign has really helped them, how they're reaching out to people, and I love reading about it. There's so much positivity, etc., right? So the next thing that we want to show you, I'm actually going to pass it over to my friend here. His name is Kevin. He has reached out to so many people about the financial literacy campaign, and he's going to talk more about himself and his background.
So thank you, Julian, and thank you, Uncle Rocky and Auntie Lucy, for allowing us to come over on a Friday morning to share with you a little more about the campaign. So maybe before we begin, let me just introduce myself. You're probably wondering why I'm in your living room with a very loud green jacket on. Okay, so I've been a part of this campaign now for about 4.5 years, but I really actually stumbled into this industry almost by mistake or by accident. You know, growing up, my parents were from Vietnam, and so I grew up my whole life seeing my dad as a business owner when we were young. And so I really idolized my dad. I didn't really know what he did, I just idolized him because every day he could pick me up, he could drop me off, and so I got to spend a lot of time with him. And so when I graduated high school, I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I just knew I needed to go to college. So I did that. I went to a community college, actually in San Jose, and I got a job working at a bookstore. Just part-time, just to make ends meet. But because I didn't know what I wanted to do, I ended up stumbling through college. And by the time I actually got accepted to university, I remember the day I got accepted, I went home and told my parents. And it was 2010. It was 2 years after the recession, the economy crashed. Do you remember the economy crashing? Okay, a lot of people lost their jobs, a lot of people lost their retirement. My parents were no different. And so when I got accepted to university, the same day I got accepted, my parents actually told me was the day we had to file for bankruptcy. And you know, as a kid, 22 years old, that really turned my life upside down. And so when I went to university, I realized I needed to do something to help my family. So I decided to study money, right? Study finance. But you know, college, do you have young kids or sons and daughters in college?
We have 2.
2, wow. Julian told me 3. But when I went to university, you know, college is, they make you buy stacks and stacks and stacks and stacks of books, right? And I think you may not see the books your son brings home, but you see the bills, right? How much they cost. But if you look inside the books, a lot of the materials are very dry. And so even though I had the intention to help out my parents and study finance in college, I ended up having to work a lot too, because with bankruptcy, you know, I had to work over 100 hours a week just to make enough money to pay for the mortgage. And so I continued to really struggle through college, really just because I didn't have any time. And it really started to affect my confidence that even though I wanted to help my family, I'm not sure if this is something that I can do for the rest of my life. And so 2014, my dad, he got sick. Very suddenly, he passed away within 6 months. And a couple months later was when my cousin actually introduced me to this campaign. She said, why don't you come and listen to this financial literacy campaign and check it out for yourself. And I did. I sat in